What made you fight your own sibling? I was 16 when mom and dad died in a ski accident. My brother Roger was 24 and about to graduate law school, but he dropped everything to become my guardian. "I'll take care of you," he said at the funeral while holding my hand so tight it hurt. "I promise nothing bad will ever happen to you again." My chest felt hollow and I wanted to believe him so badly that I ignored how his grip left marks. A week after moving in, Roger installed cameras in every room except the bathroom. He said it was for safety since we lived in a big house now. Something felt wrong, but I was too numb with grief to argue. He'd pick me up from school every single day and wait outside my classes if he arrived early. My friends thought it was sweet how he'd text me every hour to check in. At first I thought it was sweet too, but my stomach started twisting whenever my phone buzzed. He cooked all my meals and helped with homework and even learned to braid hair from YouTube so I wouldn't miss mom doing it. That made me cry every time because his hands were nothing like hers. Our relatives kept saying how lucky I was to have such a devoted brother. The principal called him a saint for sacrificing his career for me, and honestly I felt the same way, even when something deep inside whispered this wasn't normal. That changed junior year when I mentioned wanting to learn to drive. Roger said cars were death traps and showed me accident statistics for teen drivers. I felt stupid for even asking. When I got accepted to an out-of-state college, he sat me down with spreadsheets about campus assault rates and convinced me the local college was safer. I cried myself to sleep that night, dreams of independence crumbling. He started reading my diary to make sure I wasn't depressed and installed a tracking app on my phone that alerted him if I went anywhere new. The betrayal burned in my throat when I found out about the diary. People called him controlling, but he told them they didn't understand the responsibility of keeping me safe. I wasn't allowed to date or go to parties or even join study groups unless they were at our house where he could supervise. Each new rule made me feel smaller, like I was disappearing. The locked liquor cabinet wasn't the problem. It was the lock he put on my bedroom door that only locked from the outside, so no one can get in while you're sleeping, he explained. Like that made sense. My heart hammered as I stared at that lock, finally understanding I wasn't being protected, I was being imprisoned. The day I turned 18, I thought things would change, but they got worse. My hands trembled with excitement when I secretly applied to a study abroad program in Spain and got accepted with a full scholarship. When Roger found the acceptance email, he completely lost it. He grabbed my laptop and threw it against the wall, screaming that I was ungrateful and trying to get myself killed. The screen shattered and I ran to my room but remembered the lock worked from the outside. I panicked and locked myself in the bathroom instead and called 911 with shaking hands. I whispered to the operator that my brother was having a breakdown and I was scared. My voice cracked and tears streamed down my face as I begged them to hurry. While I waited for police, I heard him in the basement moving heavy things and drilling into concrete. The sound made bile rise in my throat. 20 minutes felt like hours. When the officers arrived, Roger answered the door completely calm and even smiled at them. My blood went cold watching him transform. He told them I was having an episode because today was our parents' death anniversary and showed them my old therapy notes about survivor's guilt. He said I'd been threatening to hurt myself all week and he was worried sick about me. Rage replaced my fear as I watched him lie so easily. The officers looked at me with sympathy until I showed them my room and they saw the lock on the outside of my door. Relief flooded through me when their expressions changed. They asked to see the basement and Roger tried to block the stairs but they moved him aside. My legs felt like jelly as I followed them down and saw what he'd been building for months. The room made my knees buckle. He'd constructed a concrete room with a steel door that locked from the outside. Inside were chains bolted to the walls with leather restraints at the ends and a bucket in the corner. He'd stacked cases of water bottles against one wall and boxes of canned food against another. There was a calendar on the wall with my graduation date circled in red. I couldn't breathe. My whole body shook as reality hit me. The officer asked if I wanted to press charges and Roger started crying real tears. "Everything I've done is because I love her," he said. "She's all I have left. I can't lose her too." His words made me want to scream. They arrested him while he kept repeating those words. The investigation found journals dating back 3 years with detailed plans about keeping me safe forever. One entry said, "She doesn't understand the world wants to hurt her, but I do." Reading those words made me vomit. He'd researched legal guardianship extensions and printed articles about young women who died studying abroad. The folder was labeled "When She Tries to Leave." I got a restraining order and moved for college. Roger spent 6 months in jail. Last month, my roommate mentioned a guy who kept asking about me at the coffee shop. She showed me a photo she'd snuck of him. It was Roger. He'd lost weight and grown a beard, but I knew those eyes. Yesterday got a package with no return address. Inside was a silver necklace with a GPS tracker hidden in the clasp. The note just said, "So you're never lost." I threw it in the trash and packed my bags again.